This is race number 6 at the Butterfly Nationals, and again you'll see that we're jammed up against the shore because the wind's coming from an unusual direction and they're having trouble fitting the course into this small lake. This race is different for two reasons. First of all, I have the worst possible first leg, just an appalling first leg, so you get to see all the mistakes I made. And secondly, I'm able to come through the fleet and win the race. So, we have 1 minute to go. So here's my first mistake. Something I learned, or should have learned, in the first race today, race number 5, is that even when it's pin favored, you go to the right, you hug the shore. That's the local conditions for this breeze. So it's wildly pin favored and I'm lured to the pin. That was a mistake. As the race starts, I'm actually in pretty good shape, although you can see people at the boat end are already on a lift. I've punched out a little and would like to tack. So on a slight knock, I tack. Now in a laser, I would have kept going, but it wasn't a very good tack. The other boat said cross. I didn't hear him properly. I completely messed it up. So I've not only lost several boat lengths, I've just lost my ability to go to the favorite right side of the course. Unbelievable, bonehead, stupid mistake. A quick glance over my shoulder tells me that not only have I forgotten how to tack, I don't know how to point. The boats above me are pointing much, much better. I'm in real trouble here. So I start to look around at my options and they're not good. Trying to find a way out. And eventually I just say, look, whatever it takes, I'm out of here. There's a boat coming up on starboard, I ask.
Tack across.
And instead of ducking, tack again. Going the wrong way again.
Let's go. We're up. Thank you.
So just a few minutes into the race, this is a really ugly picture. I'm in a lull, the leaders up ahead are in more pressure, they're in a lift, and they're along the favored shore. I am in big trouble. The natural thing to try right now is to go on a flyer, to go way off to the left and hope that I get like a Hail Mary, like a bit of good luck. What I've learned is that it's best to kind of say, look, okay, I made mistakes, let's wait for things to get better. So there's a bit of pressure coming. I want to work really hard to keep the boat flat, because if it's not flat, it tries to heel over and the rudder stalls, as you'll see in a second. Right here. That's really slow. And as you can see ahead, more pressure. This is probably over 20. Boat starts to stall. Look at the rudder. And I can't hold it. And I just go into irons completely. I stop. I've completely stalled out. I have to push the boom to go backwards a bit. And I'm thinking, oh man, could it get any worse? I finally get underway. Ah, this is bad. So I look upwind. I see a bunch of really good sailors managing the conditions well. And I say to myself, I've made all my mistakes. Time to go catch some of these people. I have no idea how things are going to work out, but I know one thing. I've got to be really patient. What I need to get to the first mark cleanly is I need to hit the ley line properly, and I want to make sure I don't tack into someone's bad air. Right here's a problem. So I'm going to wait for him to tack, and then I follow. Now you can see what's going to happen. He's not going to make the mark. He's not as experienced. He's looking back at me, and even though he has no rights at all, he tacks in front of me. I duck him. I put in 2 quick tacks, and then I'm around the mark. Now, I could have yelled at him saying, no, don't do that, but hey, I didn't think it was worth it. He's not as experienced, and I want to make sure that he enjoys the race as well. So as we can see from here, there are 6 boats in front of me, and they're a long way away. I got to be patient. Nothing happens until the bottom of the run, so we'll pick it up there. And we can see that at the bottom of the leg, a boat's already tipped at the mark. So it's going to be tricky. If you're playing catch up, you always want pressure at the bottom of the leg, not at the top, but the bottom, and that's a good way to catch up. At this point, I'm considering going around not just the mark, but the boat that's tipped, because I didn't want to risk injury to the person trying to get the boat up. But I realized there's room. I'm able to squeak in, and now the chase is on. So now there's 5 boats in front of me, and I know exactly what I got to do. I got to be patient. They're going to go to the shore. I've just got to work the boat really hard and do what I can to catch up. Pointing's good. Pressure coming. Keep the boat flat. So far so good. So here's an unusual bit of luck. There's a boat below me that has the right of way on starboard tack. I say tack across, and he says cross, even though he has to bear off a bit. He did not have to do that, and I'm grateful. So now we're down to 4 boats in front. So there's a lot going on here. The lead boat in yellow is the really good local sailor. He'll tack to stay close to shore, so I know I've got to stay close to shore. One of the 3 boats below me tacks. I duck him to continue going to the right. I think that was a mistake, so I think now I'm in 4th place. So right now I've got good pressure. I'm on a bit of a lift. I know the 2 boats below me are going to tack. The question is, do I tack with them or do I duck them? Have I caught them? When they tack, I realize, yep, we're even. Rather than duck them and give up a boat length, I'm going to tack with them. I didn't go quite as far inshore as I would have liked, but now I've caught the 2nd and 3rd place boats. When I look back, I can see that they're pointing higher inshore. I've got better speed. I think I might have them. It's going to be close. There's the boat that ducked me before. I think I might be in 2nd place. I'm in good pressure here, trying to hold the boat down. As I look back, I see that the other 3 boats don't seem to have the same amount of pressure, so I'm going to tack and consolidate. So I spent the next several minutes tacking, staying in phase, and just trying to get to the mark as soon as possible, staying in pressure. You'll see that as we approach the mark, I've closed the gap, plus I'm covering the boats behind me. So this is good. 2nd place. I'm reeling in the boat in front. Unfortunately, there's pressure at the top, which means he'll get away from the top mark really well. This will make catching him more difficult. So here's a nice tight rounding coming up, and I'm going to try to stay in the pressure and get as close as I can to the boat in front before we start the final leg. Unfortunately, my battery ran out, so we don't have much more to show you. I'll tell you how I caught him though. He went off towards the shore on the last windward leg, which I expected. He tried to cover me by tacking on top. I tried to force him to sail into knocks. We eventually got close together and I got him, and I passed him just before the finish line, so I probably won by about 3 or 4 seconds. It was a good race. Very good sailor. A lot of fun, and I just count myself being very lucky to have finished well in a race that started off so poorly.